Good evening, my name is Guy Zuckerman and I am the anchor of the MRT News Reports, here for an MRT News Channel alert from the western terms of the Southern Line, the General Staff Meeting for June 2018. It is a very busy staff meeting with 35 topics having been gone through faster than most analysts predicted, and the public portion will be starting soon with messages from Frumple in approximately 2 minutes.
I'm not even from Britain.
I know, but you sound like it. You've got the posh twang that makes
At the moment, we are waiting for owner Frumple to begin his announcements, which are sure to be very long due to the amount of topics that are discussed at the GSM today, and in addition, after that, the Southern Line and the Jungle Line will be open. We are at the western terminus of the Southern Line currently.
My man's not even from London.
Well, it's Southerner. I'm technically inclined.
We do not have any information on any.
That's the thing. It's kind of
Miney lives
on any of the topics.
I mean, for
In
peculiar,
addition, we have the fact that
sound American. You kind of sound British as well.
there are several redacted topics in the GSM, which include an entire section, Section 2 redacted. We do not know what was discussed during Section 2.
I remember my first ever mistake on here was calling
The anniversary is coming up, that will be discussed. There were also 3 premiere reviews. Debecco owned by Sirats, Utopia owned by Narnia 17,
You're trying too hard.
and Lack Lead owned by JPH Golf 4321. We don't know the results of those. We have not seen any promotions in chat. When that happens, if a promotion occurs in chat, we will report on it immediately.
Benny talk for peculiar.
I have to open a window in my room.
Again, if a promotion happens, we will report on it immediately.
Oh, have you guys seen the new? Have you? You guys may be quite earlier to this than I was, but did you guys check out the new like voice announcement demo that Frumple set up?
Wasn't that released a month ago, if not more?
Like I said, I can't even remember because I recently came back after I finished exams.
Yeah, 1 minute. Okay, they're behind. Just like true bureaucrats.
Where's the venue?
Venue?
Don't they usually host it in the city?
I have not paid attention to a GSM for about a year, so yeah, you're
fair enough.
Coaxing things out of me. They were supposedly holding it underneath PvP Arena 8 for some reason. I could see them down there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we kind of were having a PvP fight in the middle of the GSM.
Oh. Why is there a giant thing of scissors?
The table's in the middle of it, right?
Yeah, the table was in the middle of the underground part of PA8, so we're just kind of
incoming
killing each other on the top of the table.
And the staff are entering now, and the public portion is beginning.
Yeah, we're done in it.
GSM time! Yay! I don't have exam.
GSM time for 3
literally
hours.
all stuff, but Frumple is currently like meh.
Well, it's been 3 or 4 hours. I'm honestly impressed that most of the staff haven't just resigned already, because that would certainly be reason to.
I mean, I've had the same thing earlier today. I had a 3.5-hour Parliament session on Wolfhaven.
You don't sound anywhere near as miserable for that to be true.
Yeah, it was fun.
You've got to have.
Hey, Miney!
Yeah, you come out of GSM feeling quite miserable.
Hey, Miney, guess what? School's out, boys.
Oh, time to come.
Did you?
Yeah, how were your exams, sweet boy?
Most of them were okay. I enjoyed maths and physics.
Oh yeah, I really enjoyed the maths. Like, I didn't enjoy the first maths paper. I enjoyed the third one a lot.
Yeah, the third one was quite.
I'm sorry,
nice.
there were 3 papers.
Yeah, there's 3 papers for Maths GCSE.
Something we want to note right now, there are no administrators I apologize. Got to change the channel, but Fumple has yet to
turning
join. Fumple's yet
we
to
have
join.
3.
Chief has
One-
not joined
one
either.
calculator,
We do
2
not know what the
calculator.
How
administrators
many exams have you had
are
to do today?
currently
Oh,
discussing that
I've
may
had
be
22 and I'm
excluding
still not
other
done.
staff
I thought
members.
Yeah,
it
I
was
just
bad
finished on
me
Friday.
Again, if any
I thought it
promotions
was bad
happen,
me having
we
6 of
will
them.
bring
Then
it
again,
to
that is
you
for
as soon as
university, so-
Would I get
possible.
banned if I broke through the barriers?
Oh
Just
my
like
goodness.
a hypothetical
Probably.
situation
If
where
you
I
do
have-
GSD, I need to
And
learn
Fumple's now in the
everything.
channel,
Hello, don't
and
break the
the
barriers.
public
Hello.
portion is
break
beginning.
the barriers. Got it.
No.
You
Test,
said-
test. Hello,
Well,
hello.
you
Okay,
said no
good.
to the barriers.
Yeah, but I'm finishing on Tuesday, sweet boy.
Why is
So-
GSM
That's cool.
here?
Because the
not?
Southern Line is opening.
Oh,
No, they just really like that area of the New World.
Oh, just don't ask about safety on this stand that people can sit on, because yeah, this might not be very safe.
crap! He's God's so
There
far,
is the
I'm
GSM.
trying to find a
If
weak
you want
spot.
to make
I mean, yeah, weak spot. There'll be a hole in here somewhere.
Meanwhile, MBS is getting a promoted tweet on its tie line. Does God allow evil? Is the existence of God compatible with ...
Depends as to what it is. If it's tacos, probably, yeah. If
Oh
it's
my god.
sense of
and just
humor,
for the
well,
just to confirm, then there will be nothing built behind Fumple this time. Absolutely nothing.
Okay,
No,
absolutely nothing. I can see Mindman in the process of building something, but okay.
God, wait, no, this is for the staff set. No,
Oh, I thought
no,
this
you
was.
want-
I build a giant
God.
fetus. I'm building a giant fetus.
Okay.
What?
you what, my
Oh,
blocking?
That is Ritus, your fetus.
No one is helping the build. There's nothing behind Frumple.
It's air.
Then-
How do you build air?
Fetus. I don't know what a fetus looks like. Oh crap! Ow!
Can I build the Illuminati sign?
Okay, come on.
Right,
No, who
only
teleported
the
me?
only person should be
wait.
behind is the staff. Anyone
Wait a
else?
second.
no.
Why don't you guys just set up a very quick rating for the staff members to go in? It's
Nah.
It's like.
Can I put in an
We like people.
Can I put something like behind the sort of like arena, like behind the bystanding area?
Terrified.
No. If you want to do something, do it behind the 2 jungle trees on the east.
Okay.
But that won't be viewable. Like, and the whole
I mean-
point of building something crappy behind Frumple is to show how little you care.
Well, that's done by Yosh. There's nothing behind Frumple.
Yeah,
There's a thing here that I'm kind of concerned about. These scissors might be slightly too large to cut that tape. We might as well cut up the whole station by this.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
So these are the staff seats, are they?
Hey, he's AFK.
Yeah.
Let's box him.
Excellent.
Oh,
I
crap.
can't see
Triggers
him.
me
There's
that
a,
these-
there's a jungle log in my way.
That's
That's your fault. But it's a good headrest. I can tell you that.
And crikey, there's a lot of people in here. Like, it's literally the whole sidebar is full, and it's like asking me to scroll down because it's full.
Oh, this is loads.
Sweet boy, what the heck
Aw.
are you doing?
I bought a crappy Illuminati.
That's nice. I'm stuck in an MRT station.
Your block,
Them
Rich.
crappy Illuminati.
We're at your plans.
No,
make no
Robin.
sense.
No, Robin. Bad Robin.
No block,
Bad
no
Robin.
blocking the MRT sign. No blocking the MRT sign.
Oh, my-
It's
yeah, my sign
disrespect.
is Illuminati, guys. I can prove it.
An MRT sign into concrete.
Nah, we like waddle.
Where's Skelly? He's normally
Should I
streaming
be
somewhere.
seen?
If you want to know where Skelly is, just look at his stream and go to that one.
No, by the way, this tree is, we've made this the parkour jungle tree, so you can parkour on it if you're bored.
Yay, new station. I just like the fact that this will be saved to Twitch forever. Oh, stop
And
moving.
YouTube.
Parkour is
I'm
nice.
trying to ruin everything for you. Crap.
Testing, testing. Okay, good. All right.
Test
Hello.
received.
Leave me alone.
This test has been
No,
received.
sweet boy, not on the MRT station. It's nice, shiny MRT station. Don't graffiti it.
Oh, a
God
graffiti
damn it, gods!
Great, I'm in.
Leave it alone! Jeez.
No.
I can just sneak in here with a minecart.
Why does the
Sweet
thing that
boy.
doesn't exist behind Frumple looks like it has a poop on it right now?
What do you mean?
Don't say anything.
I see a Yoshi behind
nothing.
Crumple.
I see nothing
I
else.
have
There's
regret.
nothing
I
there.
don't think I can get out of the station now. Just. Thank you.
Guys, don't go into the station just now. It's not open yet.
Well, no, but I'm proud in saying that I'm the first person inside for like half a second. So I got
Okay, we're about to go live here, so
time to mute.
You know, many people have been in there, including me, who built it, right?
You don't count. You built it. You're
can I get
It's been in here.
can I get silence, please? Thank you.
No, you never get silence.
If you're using voice activity, please mute yourself.
I'm not.
Good.
Okay, here we go. Hello, everyone, and oh,
Hello.
what did I just say? Shush. Okay. Hello, everyone, to the public portion of the general staff meeting for June 2018. Let me see if I can get the Minecrafts. There you are. Hello. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
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 memes.
Okay, so we had a very long, a lot of topics in this meeting, but honestly, it went actually pretty well. It's not a short meeting by any means, but we got through a lot of stuff. So here are your announcements. The first topic I'd like to talk about is the Mercury situation, just briefly, and my my demotion of Castle. Specifically about Mercury, from what I'll give you an update on what happened. Basically, Castle did send that letter to the school administration. They did originally say that they were going to contact the authorities. That did, as far as I know, that did not happen. And whatever punishment that was given by the school to Mercury has that's we're going to leave it into their hands. And as far as I know, there have been no further attacks from Mercury. Also, we had around that same time we did install the VPN guard plugin. I also checked the logs of that plugin periodically, and as far as I know, we haven't seen any accounts caught by it, or very many accounts. So yeah, at this time, it looks like the Mercury situation is resolved, but you never know. But we'll keep an eye out for that. With regards to Castle, I'm not going to go into details, too many details about why I decided to demote him. Basically, I don't think it was a pretty severe lapse of judgment on his part to do this, and it did break a lot of trust between myself and Castle as well as the admins. He will be a trial mod. I'm not going to guarantee that he will be promoted back to full mod. By the end of this probation, the admins and I will make a decision at that point. But yeah, that's all I'm going to say at this point regarding that. The next topic I'd like to bring up is the Core Protect, the downtime we had, the almost 3 day downtime we had this week. Yep, I've made all my announcements. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but yeah, unfortunately, we've lost all our logs. The only way we tried to fix it, but didn't work. You can, if you want more details, you can read my announcements or my tweets about that. The only way to really prevent this from happening is to simply purge the logs, Core Protect logs on a periodic basis. We used to do this when we only had Gamma server because we had limited disk space. We only had an SSD so we had quite a lack of disk space, honestly. But in order to prevent this from happening, we're going to have to do probably a logging purge once every year at the very least. So the next purge will probably happen sometime middle next year, maybe a bit further. So the server will need some downtime when that happens. Probably a couple days, maybe a few days, probably as long as what we just had experienced here. But at the very least, it'll be scheduled downtime rather than unexpected downtime. So, yeah. Again, if you have any questions about the details of what actually happened, I can go into specifics if you'd like. So feel free to let me know about that. And that's that. Next up is 1D regarding the Wolfhaven MRT security agreement. I actually did attend the Wolfhaven Parliament session that happened about 5 hours ago. Or actually, more than 5 hours ago by now. 8 hours ago. And basically, as I said in my announcement, we set up the agreement. We'd like to get some feedback from the members of both servers. From the Wolfhaven side, it sounds like the reaction is generally positive, or at least neutral, from what I can tell. I am curious of your guys' opinions. So if you do have opinions about this agreement, whether positive or negative, please let me know in the Q&A and open floor happening just after these announcements. So, because we are curious whether this is a good idea or not. Assuming there's no humongous objection to this, next Saturday, me and the admins will meet up with the Wolfhaven admins again, and we will finalize this agreement. There is some concerns about the whole privacy policy and GDPR and all that stuff. Hopefully by then I'll be able to define some documents and an actual privacy policy for the MRT by then. So, yeah. Moving on to topic 1E regarding the definition of staff roles and titles. I'm not sure if I should say this, but the trigger for all this is because specifically around Yoshi, because we've received a lot of constant general complaints that there's this perception that Yoshi is not doing enough as a moderator for the server. However, they don't realize that he does contribute in other ways in terms of setting up games like The Mole or The Amazing Race and that sort of stuff. So I don't feel like it's fair to berate him for that. I actually, many years ago, demoted Yoshi because of this perception, and I agreed with what the players were saying. But after re-promoting him and thinking about it, I don't think people's complaints about him are fair. And to try to alleviate this, we'd like to maybe start thinking about assigning specific roles and titles, not just to Yoshi, but to basically everyone on staff, every moderator who is like not the trial moderators, but every moderator, and maybe even the admins too. Basically, just think of these as sort of specializations. So in it, like all staff will be still responsible for some minimal level of world edits and other day-to-day activities. But if they want to specialize in certain things, like for example, God'll Train is the one who handles a lot of the city rank promotion badges, and he's the one who collates them and organizes them and prepares them for the rest of the staff to vote on. So yeah, we weren't able to define all of these titles. We'll probably do this over the next month or so, and we'll probably finalize these titles by next GSM. So yeah, watch out for that. Moving on, 1F. 1F, I'm not going to go into too much detail. It's a little idea that Tom had about adding some sort of achievement system for primarily premiers, because there's not much else for premiers to do after they've achieved that rank. But I think it could also be applied to just everyone in general. But there's still some questions about, like, how is this going to be an official thing? How do staff evaluate these things? Is it going to add more time, more workload for them? So this topic will be deferred. Tom will come back to us and flesh out how exactly this sort of achievement system would be implemented. So, okay. Moving on to 1G, KittyCat11231 has proposed that the removal of time requirements for the councillor and mayor ranks. Basically, right now, actually, before I go on, I'd like to make a clarification regarding that rule. At the moment, the rule says that in order to become a councillor or mayor, you must wait either 1 or 2 weeks. I think it's 2 weeks, I believe, for each of those. And there was a misunderstanding that I discovered amongst the staff that, and that this probably applies to members too, that you had to wait that same amount of time if you were building a second town. So, for example, if you already achieved, say, the senator rank or some other higher rank with your first town, there was a misconception that you had to wait the same amount of time for building your councillor and mayor or second councillor and mayor towns. I can say with certainty that this is not the case. The time limit only applies for your player rank, not your town rank. Once again, it only applies to your player rank, not your town rank. So, yeah. So with that clarification out of the way, we considered Kitty Cat's proposal. There are valid concerns from some people saying, specifically when we evaluate, one of the big points was when we evaluate staff, let me repronounce this. When we evaluate towns, like say a councillor town or mayor towns, most of the times we will want to give feedback to the town for improvements so they can be more successful at the next rank. So we would like to keep at least some level of a time requirement there, or at least like there's some sort of buffer in between promotions. At the same time, on the other hand, we do realize that there are towns, or there are people who are not even yet of citizen or trustee rank who are starting to build their town right from member rank. And if for example, a member builds a very large town that looks like a mayor town before they even get to trustee, they should be able to be promoted within a fairly easy amount of time. So, sorry, I'm rambling here, but basically what we've agreed on is a compromise. Essentially, just trying to remember what so for any promotions between citizen and trustee, trustee to councillor, or councillor to mayor, all the time periods for these promotions will be reduced to 1 week. So essentially, for all of the promotions from member up to mayor, the requirement will be reduced to 1 week only. We think that this will be a good enough compromise, such that if there is someone who's building a town at member rank, they should be able to get promoted fairly easily, with maybe waiting at the maximum of maybe 2 or 3 weeks to get to mayor rank. This at least gives them a buffer so they can work on feedback given by the staff. So I hope that is clear to you guys. If you need more clarification about this, please ask in the Q&A and open floor portion of this meeting. Next up, I would like to, this is a minor change to the server advertising rule. The wording of this general rule says, do not advertise other servers. It's not very specific. I would like to add some details to this rule. So this rule will now change to do not advertise servers that are unaffiliated to the MRT. Now, what this means is any server that is affiliated to the MRT, we mean that any Discord servers, for example, that are affiliated with the MRT. Examples include the United Cities, any MPOs, town associations, or sporting events. All of those Discords are allowed to advertise on the MRT server. What is not allowed to be advertised is any other Minecraft servers, and that it does include your own personal Minecraft server or Wolfhaven specifically. Those are not allowed to be advertised. In addition, any Discord servers related to those other Minecraft servers, those are not allowed as well. Keep in mind that this rule only applies to blatant advertising, like you're trying to actually attract people to your server. This rule does not apply to any discussion about those other servers. So if you want to talk about Wolfhaven or mention it just brief or mention it casually in chat, that is absolutely okay, as long as you just don't blatantly advertise these other servers. And for the person in Twitch chat, you can visit our website and visit our Minecraft server by clicking that link. Okay, so that's 1H. Moving on, we have a proposal from 1I. We have a proposal from CCC9, making an addition to the MRT road standards. Once again, I'd like to remind everyone, the MRT road standards are not official rules per se, but they are very strongly recommended guidelines to help standardize all the roads on the server. His proposal asks for the removal of carpets on roads, as it is actually quite difficult to drive on carpeted roads. This has been approved if CCC or another player or staff member would like to edit the wiki article themselves, they may go ahead and do so.
I think it might be a protected page.
It may, but well,
if that's protected, then we will deal with it.
Well, you'll find out. We'll CCC.
We'll deal with it. We'll deal with it if it needs to be dealt with.
We'll whatever. Anyway, gonna skip 1J. I don't think it's terribly relevant for you guys. 1K. So 1K, we have some events. I'll list them out right now. We have some ideas for events for the 6th anniversary of the server. That is coming up on July the 13th. We're planning to maybe do these events over the whole week around that date, or maybe on the weekend, the 14th or 15th. We're not entirely sure. Some staff have volunteered to run some events. Some of I'll list out the events that we have ideas for so far. One includes a game of Secret Hitler. It's a fun party board game. The other one is some games of Bootleg Telephone, which is run by Scatterbomb. Gods has some ideas of trying to do another community build, just like what we did for last year when Thomas built the MRT theme park. So that might be something we'll do. Tom Pears might try to do some sort of building competition. And just Robin Ho will try to do a game of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. So we'll have more details about these events probably toward the end of the month. So please stay tuned for that. Next up, just an update about the beta server. There are technically two that are relevant. Two plugin changes on the beta server right now. One is an update to Dynmap, which does in fact fix the player skins. So player skins do show up. You can actually go view it yourself if you go to the beta Dynmap right now, if there's actually a staff member on there. But I'm planning to get that fix in maybe by next week even. It seems like a very easy fix, and that'll be good. That'll be good for the Dyne map. The other plugin we're testing on is probably one you know pretty well. It's the Fast Async World Edit, which allows, essentially, it doesn't make world edits faster, but at least prevents them from, prevents big world edits from lagging the whole server. So that, unfortunately, testing for that plugin so far is not going very well. We have some issues, some very severe issues that are causing the beta server to crash, and some of the mods are trying to investigate that right now. If they cannot resolve it, then it's very likely that we will probably not go ahead with installing Fast Async World Edit anytime soon. So,
at the moment, beta is whitelisted to staff only.
That is correct, and it will be whitelisted at least until the anniversary. So, if you're expecting to get on there to help test, please don't expect that to happen anytime soon. Okay, moving on to 1M. Just a small idea I had. I would like to offer to all mayors of premier cities. At the moment on DyneMap, what we've done to mark a premier city is a simple purple flower icon, which I found that it's not very visible on DyneMap, or at least not very, doesn't really stand out on there. So what I'm suggesting is DyneMap does allow you to make custom markers. Actually, all of the MRT station markers are actually custom images that we have made. So if you are a mayor of a premier city and you have an icon in mind, please send it over to us. I will let you know that the icon needs to be 32 by 32 in size in terms of pixels,
or smaller.
Yeah, or smaller, but bigger is better if you want more detail. And it should probably be it should be in a PNG format. So yeah. So yeah, if you'd like that uploaded to the DyneMap, please email the admins and we'll go ahead and do that. Next up, oh, this is gonna be fun. I did also discuss. You probably saw the Arctic Line announcement pilot project. It's essentially a vanity project, just a fun thing that I just wanted to try out. If you don't know, basically, it's going to enable some audio announcements when you ride on the MRT Arctic Line. Like, for example, when you approach a station, it'll say what the next station is. After you leave a station, it'll say, what train this is. So this is a pilot project. We're going to test it on the Arctic Line. We're going to install the command blocks, and I'll set up my resource pack and make the recordings at some point. Probably, hopefully later this summer. In the GSM, we have, but in order to do this, in the GSM, we have approved official names for a lot of the unnamed stations on the Arctic Line. And the stations are as follows. A4 will be named Sanford Station. A5 will be named Cornice Southeast. A7 will be named Watchfield East. A17 will be named Freshney West. A18 will be named Chestwick. A19 and slash Taiga 24 will be named Voltsphere. A27 will be named Lancaster with an E at the end. A28 is going to be named Cicero. A29, Cicero. We'll post this maybe in Discord just so people can know that. A29 will be named Lucerne Gate, and A30 will be named Lucerne. So with all these stations named, and I'll be able to make announcements for all of them. And again, we'll install these command blocks, but the point of this project is to also allow other players, if they want, once I've got my default I've made my resource pack. Other players will be able to make their own resource pack if they want, and since it's entirely client side, people can install different kinds of packs depending on their preferences, and there'll be one pack per line. That's the general idea. So, for example, you could have my voice on the Arctic line. You could have, I don't know, Chief's voice on the Taiga line, and I don't know, who else
LD.
would be?
LD
LD's
on the
voice.
Mesa line.
Ada, yeah, sure, why not? Yeah. So, okay. So moving on. Okay. 1-0 is from Sinra. He'd like a clarification regarding Senator airfields. We have decided as staff that fences are part of the 7,500 block limit for Senator airfields. So therefore, any airfields that are over this limit will need to be adjusted. So.
Court.
And
Okay, cool, Jesse.
I didn't want to mention his name, but thanks for. And finally, the last topics for section 1 is regarding 2 changes to command or the citizen commands. You probably saw it earlier, but I did remove the vulnerable command /NPC vulnerable. This was causing some issues. Some people were abusing this command to kill off NPCs, and we agree with this sentiment. So we have disabled it at least for non-staff. If you do have an NPC that you would like to become vulnerable, you may ask staff for that. They can change it for you, but you probably have to provide a pretty good reason in order to do so. And the other one, which I will also enable now, is.
I thought we were just going to test it on beta first.
We have.
Gods has tested it out, so let me just.
Oh, sweet.
If the server crashes,
blame gods.
Blame me.
Yes, blame gods. See,
Please do not blame Chief. Blame gods.
No, blame Mega.
New catchphrase.
Just because I supposedly crashed beta 3 times doesn't mean you automatically blame me.
We blame you for the times that you crashed beta, but anyway.
Order.
What up?
Order. Oh boy, Wolfhaven is rubbing off on us. So yes, NPC path is now enabled for trustees and above. This command allows you to set paths for your NPCs to walk. We had the reason why this was not approved was we were under the assumption that you could potentially make unlimited paths, and we weren't sure what kind of performance impact this would have. However, based on testing on beta, it looks like there is a limit of gods. Can you remind me how many 440 nodes you can make on that path. So that seems like a pretty reasonable amount. So once again, /NPC path is now enabled. So your NPCs now can walk around if you like to do so. Okay.
Just please don't like the server. Thank you.
Yeah, please, but also please use your judgment and don't abuse this command, because if you do, I'm going to get you, and you don't want that.
The exact same thing is what will happen if you post memes outside of #random.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. So I will reveal that section 2 is it is about moderator nominations, and we had a few nominations on our own. I will first off say that Mega Skitterbomb, I mean, he has pretty much achieved his 3 months by this point, so he has been promoted to a full moderator. So congratulations.
Way.
And we are also happy to announce that we have chosen a new trial mod to join the ranks of staff, and that person is, drumroll please,
Wait, have they accepted?
Insert drum roll
That's
here.
Yeah, they
that's
did.
not a wow. That's not a drum
They
roll.
have.
Okay.
Hang on, have they accepted yet?
Yes, they
Yes.
have.
Okay.
The new trial mod is CCC.
Congratulations.
He was here like a minute ago.
Who made? Okay. Anyway, so congrats to CCC9. He
Who
will
is
be
not
starting.
here?
He
He
will
was
be
here earlier.
starting. He will. We have talked to him, and he has accepted the position. I'll set him up pretty soon. Actually, let me go promote him right now because that's cool.
Is he a supporter?
Somebody get him the role in Discord.
Doing it.
On it.
I got it. I got it.
I got Discord.
Moderator.
That's the question.
He is not a supporter. He does not support us.
No, trial mod, not full
trial mod. Oh, I forgot.
Oh,
good job.
He skips trial mod.
Just skip trial
Sorry.
mod.
All right. Trial mod's still pretty new in my head. So I always go to. Anyway. So yes. Cool. So that is that. And that's all I have to say about section 2. Moving on to section 3.
That was only section 2.
Section 2 was so long.
Section 2 is long, but yeah. Section 3 was amazing. This was honestly, I will say that this was the best GSM ever because there were no actual road proposals in this GSM, and I'm very happy about that. I hope this continues. Maybe not. But there was one proposal that was from AP Red. He wanted to add red terracotta as a drivable surface. Unfortunately, there's some concerns that this actually might be used by UCars for signaling. So what's going to happen is we're going to test this out on beta server and see if this is actually possible. So you might see this by the next GSM or maybe earlier. Next up is some projects and funding proposals. First up from actually a combined one from Skyjumper Talon. These are 2 separate proposals. One is for another mini golf tournament that's coming up on June the 30th, I believe. This one has been approved. Skyjumper Talon has also proposed end of season funding. He would like to add additional funding for people based on their scores so far. I did suggest to Talon that he should try to integrate these into the tournaments themselves because I feel like these end of season prizes just simply complicate things. I did bring it up to his staff, and staff do agree with this. So unfortunately, the end of season funding has been denied, and Talon will have to find some other means of giving those prizes out. In addition, the rest of these are also proposed by Skyjumper Talon. 4B is the event of events. Looking at the proposal, the amount of money is not very much, but the amount of events that are happening within one single day is way too much and way too ambitious, in our opinion. So we have denied this. We would strongly recommend Talon to try to go for something smaller or split it up into an event over several days. Because we did compare this to the MRT Olympics that just happened, and that didn't go over so well, even after happening over 3 days. So, and the other topic was Hunger Games, also proposed by Skyjumper Talon. He was supposed to provide a date for this event, but he has not by the time of this GSM. So this topic will be skipped until he can do so. And there is a redacted topic in one final one for in 4D. Yoshi would like to do. Hi, how are you?
Good.
I'm not asking you. Okay.
You're not Yoshi.
So Yoshi would like to do a screenshot contest in the style of MRT Vision.
Eurovision, not MRT Vision.
Or I don't know. Whatever. So yeah, I'll let Yoshi give out the details on his own accord. We have approved to at least allow him to try it out. This screenshot contest will effectively replace the bi-yearly or yearly official screenshot contest that we usually do. We'll have a different voting system and a different mechanism of how that contest is run, but I'm going to leave that in Yoshi's hands, and we'll see how it goes. So, moving on to section 5. 5A has been skipped because it was revealed that North Haven is under the ownership of Camel and Chimpy. So we're going to be considering that. 5B, Tom Pears would like ownership of XE7 to 8, Merchant City, owned by Technological 99. He'd like to expand Aqualogen Takasan, whatever that.
That was
city
great.
name is.
Akavalogan Takassin.
AT. This has been approved. So yes. Next up is 5C. Volpicula would like the ownership of C93. I don't remember who owned that, but that has been approved. And finally, Cookie 46910 has requested the ownership of Morihama Ferry Terminal, which is near WS. WS or W0. Yeah, WS. I don't know why I said
that area.
Yeah, the west. Somewhere in the West Ocean. That has been approved. That was previously
Autumnal
owned by that. That has been previously owned by underscore Bromley, also known as Tony Tajiri. He hasn't been on for a year, so that has been approved. It is now Cookies. Next up, Premier City Reviews. 3 cities were up for consideration. Debeco, made by Sirats, Laclede, made by JPH, and Utopia, made by Narnia. I will say, for the most part, none of these cities were approved, with varying degrees of approval or denial. So, yeah. The feedback will be sent to all of these players for their consideration, and they may try again later. Okay, moving on to section 7. I have some announcements regarding the allocations of 2 new MRT lines or line extensions, whatever you call them. First up, we're going to talk about the Southern Line East allocations. For any other, so basically I'll mention the stations that have been allocated, and basically all other stations that are not mentioned will be first come, first serve, and open for claiming, starting from the end of this GSM. So once again, for the Southern Line, SE2 will be given to Amber Pine. SE4 and SE5 will be given to MC Protocol for why? Sorry.
Town.
Oh, the existing
He's got
town.
an existing town there. In brackets, it's the existing town.
Okay, there's an existing town of the port city of Victoria there. SC8 will be given to Talon Plays, or Skyjumper Talon, as you know. SC9 and SC10 will be given to Camel Fantasy for the existing town of Aeolia. SC12 and SC13 will be given to Sigma the Enigma for his town of Southport. SC17 will be given to Cortese for his town of Merville. And finally, SC20 will be given to the player Mike24 Dude. And then moving on to Jungle Line Phase 2 allocations, the next part of the Jungle Line. JS4 will be given to Skyjumper Talon. JS6 will be given to Funky_Flounder. JS7 will be given to Demarman 1. And finally, JS9 will be given to NeedN_NL. Once again, any stations that I have not mentioned for both the Southern and Jungle Lines is open to claiming on a first come, first served basis. So if you want to grab those stations, you better grab them now. However, I will remind players that if you do claim a station and you do not do anything significant with around that station within 2 weeks or so, that claim will be removed, and another player will be able to claim it instead. So please make sure if you claim, do build something on there.
And we'll be
yeah.
checking and verifying claims as well, in case multiple people are waiting for a station.
Correct. There's one last Section 7 topic, and that's regarding the what Heaven Angel is proposing as the Savannah Line project. This line is actually one of the newer lines in the southwest portion of the map. It's the one that I proposed a long time ago that goes kind of north-south in the middle of the desert and savannah area. We would like Heaven to provide more details of where the stations will be, and also maybe discuss more about the naming. There was some disagreement among staff about what that name should be. There were some interesting suggestions that came out of it, though, was using the letter H for Savannah, but also giving the nickname for this line, the Hot Line, because it goes through very
yes,
hot times.
Definitely.
So we'll discuss it with Heaven and figure it out. We'll probably finalize this by the next GSM. Okay. City promotion rank badge. So I can
It's
say
in
there.
progress.
I will. So yeah, the last thing before we get to the open floor and Q&A is I'd like to announce some upcoming events that are coming to the server, just so you guys know about those. First up is LD Shadowlord is organizing the event expo, and he did actually send me something to say for this part. Yes, so registration for the Avella Expo is expiring in 4 days on June 20th. So if you still would like to request a booth in the Avella Expo, please do so by then. And also all exhibitors who are building in the Avella Expo, they have until June 23rd to complete their booth. Otherwise, your booth may be removed. And so the Avella Expo opens on Monday, June 25th, I believe. Yep. From June 25th all the way to Monday, July 2nd. So yeah, it is an expo. It's a place to just show off all the things that you have people have built, like companies, like trains, planes, franchises, all this sort of stuff. And so yeah, please feel free to go visit the expo. And yeah, the other event I'd like to announce is also that the Amazing Race, organized by Minecraft Yoshi 26. The first session of that will be happening on July 1st, Sunday, July 1st. And actually, for both of these events, I am planning to stream both the Avella Expo, at least on one of the days, as well as the Amazing Race. So probably what's going to happen is on the Saturday, probably June 30th, I will stream. I'll actually go be on the server, and I'll walk around the Avella Expo and just just walk around and look at all the exhibits there. And then on July 1st, I will stream the Amazing Race as well. Okay. I think that is all the announcements. Staff, can you confirm if there's anything I may have missed here?
I think you covered everything.
You got everything.
Okay, cool. All right. It is now time for the open floor and Q&A. Once again, I'll remind you, we are looking for feedback regarding the MRT Wolfhaven security agreement. But if you have any other concerns, comments, or questions about any of these topics or anything else regarding the server, please PM me either in-game. Actually, let me go get a pen for this because I'll have the names down. Please PM me in-game or in the Discord voice channel or on the Twitch chat. I'll be looking at all three locations. Please just indicate that you have a question. I'll call your name, and when I call you, you may ask your question. Okay, Otto, I have your name. I'm just mentioning it, so I just make sure you know. Vulpicula, once again, please don't post the whole question because I'm not going to remember it. just please just say that you have a question or you would like to speak. Time, I've got you, and as well as Kitty. And Skelly, yep, I got you. Oh, actually, yeah, Skelly, that's a good point. Skelly would like me to announce the 12th Turok Taco Burrito-a-thon that's happening in Elecna Bay. That's happening on June 30th. That'll happen at 5 p.m. UTC. So that's another event that you guys can do. And also, Skelly, I got you for questions. So I'll put you on the queue there. And I think we're good to go. Yep, okay. Otto, you are first up.
Okay, so first up, I had a question about the town rank, second towns. Considering there's no time limit on second towns if the player's already ranked up, does that mean a great English, a town could skip a rank in that sense because the promotion limits would be instant in the first place?
No, towns still need to go through the ranks one at a time.
That's not entirely true, actually, Chief, because
okay.
because we removing the time limits. I guess it would depend on if the player elects to, at least for maybe Councillor Mayor at the very least, they would need. There is a possibility that they could go to Mayor, but that would mean that they would have to defer asking a staff member for the Councillor rank, right? So, I mean, there's usually no reason to do so. Councillor rank for your town, but yeah, essentially what we're saying, yeah, no, there are no time limits for towns, so you could potentially do that. Yes.
Okay, second is I'll leave that for funny questions later.
Yes,
no.
please leave all funny questions to the end. I forgot to say that. Yes.
Stupid questions go later.
Otto, is that your only question for now?
Yes, that is my only question currently. Thank you.
Okay. Next up is Dragon 419. Please ask your question. I'll watch. I think you asked it in Minecraft. Okay, doing it on Minecraft. You're live on the internet, Dragon. Everyone can see you typing away. So about the airfield fences. Dragon Balloon asked, my airfield has one. What's a fence? Okay, that's an interesting spelling of fence. Has one fence as a cliff. I need a better definition of where the airfield ends and the mountain starts. I can see what you mean there. I guess we'd have to look at it and see, but it's basically any space that's used up by the airfield. So if it's a natural cliff that's already there, I would say that's probably not included as part of your airfield allocation. In the case that we were looking at, it was at an actual man-made fence, and it was slightly over. It was actually built in a way that made the total allocation slightly over the 700 blocks. So you maybe one of the staff or myself can go look at that, Dragon. But I'm pretty sure I think you should still be in the clear because that's a natural cliff. I'm assuming, rather than a man-made one. Does that answer your question? Yes, but part of the fence is fence. Okay, at this point, I think someone's going to need to look at that. I can't really answer that at the moment. But, yeah.
Could I give a comment on that as well?
Sure.
Dragon, I'm happy to look at that if you need.
Wouldn't it be easiest to then just say that terrain features wouldn't be counted and any structural features like fences or walls and such would?
We don't want people just building cliffs around their towns and claiming, "Oh, it's not part of it."
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but that would kind of break the land scoring rule. So
at this point, we're going to just try to go with this rule and see. Again, our idea is that anything you build as part of the airfield is part of the allocation. The fence the fence that was in contention was simply a one wide fence. So in terms of the overall violation of the 7,500 rule, it wasn't very much, but people were complaining about it. And just to make sure that everything's consistent, we are going to stick with that 7,500 rule. With regard to Dragon's airport, I'm not sure. It sounds like it might be partially part of it is man-made and partially natural. So then that's a bit of a gray area. I'm not sure.
No, the fence is man-made.
Okay.
I just had a look now.
Okay. Dragon, we'll talk to you after the GSM, and we'll make a judgment there about that. Okay. Volpicula had a question. I don't remember what you said, but I know you tried to post it in game, so you'll have to post it again.
I have two more now. Excuse me now. I guess it would now be encouraged to start building things like embassies on Wolfhaven, just to have an informal relationship with the entities on the server.
Not really, no.
Are you asking if we're going to build an embassy on there?
Maybe, yeah. Well, it would be any entity on the server.
We don't have plans to build one.
Okay.
Yeah, not at the moment. If Silverwolf brings up the idea, or if one of the staff members from either server wants to try to build that, I don't see any problems with doing that. But yeah, but it'll have to definitely wait until we actually finalize. So
the advertising rule wouldn't apply retroactively, right?
No, it would not apply retroactively because I'm not going to go back into the logs and try to enforce that. So yeah.
I mean,
I forgot my other question.
Yeah, this is.
Sorry, Chief, what did you want to say?
I was going to say that this clarification, it's a clarification on the rule. I mean, advertising other servers has been that hasn't been allowed in the first place.
Yeah, there were some. The reason why I'm clarifying is there was some ambiguity about that rule, and I just wanted to make it very people. Yeah. The wording as it was, the intent was just for Minecraft servers, but because they're now Discord servers now, because remember this rule was made before we had Discord, so I'm just adding some clarification there. Do you have anything else you want to add on, Volpicula?
Just to clarify, if a station like an MIT station is completely underground and there's actually no way of getting from that station to the surface, is that a rule violation, or is that just something that should be reported?
That's just bad design. Let us know.
That's just probably a boo-boo. Yeah.
Okay.
Again, when the MRT staff actually, when the original lines were built, I do know that mistakes happen, and I think there was at least one station where there was absolutely no way of getting into it. So
I'm looking at Pearl Coast.
Yeah.
I mean, I wager this would be somewhat intentional. I'll just try and contact the mayor then.
Yeah. So if you see that, just contact the staff or contact the mayor of the town, and we'll just fix it.
Will do. Thank you.
Is that all? Is it all?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Cool. All right. Moving on. Fred, I've got you in the queue. Just letting you know. Next up is time to make my move. And he is posting in Discord. His question is, will the Premiere feedback doc be released publicly? Because he seemed to indicate that it would not be.
Usually they are. They release in the same folder as all the others.
Okay. Yeah. So yes, it will be released publicly shortly.
Kitty's next, I think.
I'll go dump that in announcements now.
Okay. I'm assuming that's your only question time. Moving on to Kitty Cat 11231.
Okay, so at the last GSM, there was an announcement that there would be a rule change which would require players to receive a double warning to have to write like a reflection statement to clear that double warning, but that the rule hadn't been implemented yet. Do you have any updates on when that rule will be implemented?
Yeah, apologies for this. It was actually kind of shadow implemented without really much fanfare, but it is now an official rule. The website has been updated. The warning and ban policy at the very bottom of the rules page has been updated with this information. So, yep, we have actually had one player who has passed, or at least been approved, has written this reflection letter and has been approved. So for any other players who are still demoted based on their double warnings, they will need to write that reflection email.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Moving on to Mr. Skelly Zopperman.
Yes, first question, Mr. Frumple, is regarding the Wolfhaven agreement. Who exactly will be allowed into that Discord server if and when information sharing begins?
Yep, so I can answer that. It'll be myself, Silverwolf. Oops, sorry, excuse me. Myself, Silverwolf, and the admins from our server, so Chief and everyone else, and all the admins on their side. That's I'm not gonna. They have quite a few admins. So
I'd like to make a additional note to that. I'm not sure. That depends on if it's implemented in time or not. That might also include the Minister of Foreign Affairs from Wolfhaven.
Okay. I might have to clarify with them of who exactly they're including, but my understanding, what they told me, was it was them, Silverwolf, and his admins. So.
Also, second question regarding another thing at Wolfhaven. I did attend the parliamentary meeting, and they were potentially asking for a policy that they would punish Wolfhaven members for acting out on the MRT server regardless of whether they were doing it in Wolfhaven's name or not. Would you change the MRT's policy regarding that if Wolfhaven changes its policy?
So I was at the Parliament session, and my understanding was actually Wolfhaven already does this. There was a misunderstanding between me and Silverwolf, but from what I've clarified, Wolfhaven already has a policy of giving warnings based on if they cause trouble in the name of Wolfhaven onto other servers. The official policy on the MRT, however, has been pretty hands-off. Like, we don't care about what you do on other servers, and we don't warn you for that. However, there have been incidents, actually several incidents before, where MRTers have gone on to Wolfhaven and have said things like, MRT is better, Wolfhaven sucks, that sort of, like, they're clearly representing the MRT, and they're clearly identifying themselves as from the MRT, and they're causing trouble. So essentially, this is not part of the security agreement. This is something separate that we will probably discuss at the meeting next week. But essentially, we would have to change. I am considering changing the policy such that yes, we would. If MRT members did go on Wolfhaven, they would be subject to warnings if the Wolfhaven staff reported those players to us. If they do it in the name of the MRT. So I would like to also clarify that this does not apply to any general warnings that you get on Wolfhaven. So if you're an MRTer and you go on Wolfhaven and you get a warning just based on your behavior on Wolfhaven, unrelated to the MRT, that will not be held against you. It would maybe communicate to us based on the security agreement, but does not mean that you will get a warning on this end, on the MRT side. So,
and vice versa. So it's like if you have a minor infraction here, that will probably not translate into a warning there. So just because, again, it's only for like if you go on there and explicitly cause trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, third question. Will you host all resource packs for the MRT where will you host research packs for the MRT stations if that becomes a thing? Will you host it on the file server? And if so, what criteria will they have to meet for them to be included there?
Okay, so I think it is too early for me to specify what that criteria would be. There has been suggestions that yes, the file server could be used, and yeah, it could. It's probably a good spot to put it in. But I'm not going to confirm that right now. Again, the announcement, this announcement thing I'm doing for the Arctic line is a pilot project. We're just going to try it out and see how well it works. If it does work well, then at that point we'll start establishing a criteria for additional resource packs and how they can get uploaded to the file server if we do decide that. So.
And fourth and final question, if there are any member-initiated events for the anniversary, will those be grouped with the staff-initiated events on the anniversary and get the same or similar treatment?
Depends on what they are.
Depends on what they are, yeah. In general, I'd like to keep these server anniversary events official. So, I mean, run by staff because it is about the server. If people want to do separate events, they can totally do so, but they might run into a problem where they conflict with official events that are happening. I have had, like for example, Skyjumper Talon was suggesting to run an event on one of the days, like on the 14th, right after the 6th anniversary, and I did suggest to him that maybe that might not be the best time to do the event. Probably another weekend would be better. So.
Okay, thank you for answering, and I apologize for the volume of questions.
No, those were actually excellent questions, Skelly. Thank you. Yeah. All right. Moving on. I'm just going to double check. I may have missed some people, but yeah, Fred and then Shadow Border. So Fred, go ahead. Oh, okay, Kitty. I just saw your message there, but yeah, I got you. Never mind there. Fred, where are you? Fred.
Are you
Fred.
typing somewhere, Fred?
Fred Rail's probably in a tunnel right now.
It's
Oh,
not
image coming
It's
into.
the time mode.
Okay, Fred's question. He has actually attached a screenshot. Fred says, if there's an airfield like this pictured, where there has to be a wall to separate from buildings, would that be considered part of the airfield? I would say yes in general, but again, you have to ask staff to look at it. But yes,
we'll need to look at where it is in your actual city, Fred, because that screenshot looks like it's from your lab.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, it would. But in general, based on what I'm looking at here, would be included as part of your airfield allocation. So. Does that hopefully that answers your question, friend? A lot of things going on here. Okay, and the last person on my queue so far is Shadow Border. I'm going to actually add his questions right now. First question is, you mentioned that the MRT was trying to increase cooperation with Wolfhaven. What are some other ways you are trying to increase cooperation with Wolfhaven? Okay, you just repeated that. We're just gonna start with this for now. This security agreement. Again, the whole when actually Mind Builder is in chat right now, but when he suggested opening a dialogue, I was simply just open to listen to what they have to say, and if they want to increase that cooperation on their end, yeah, we'll be open to listen to whatever other proposals they have. But I will say that the MRT is not actively trying to increase cooperation. We're busy doing our own thing. Wolfhaven is doing their thing.
It's not to say that we don't like them. We're just doing our own thing right now.
Yeah.
And we're just bouncing along.
We are open to if they want to increase cooperation other ways, and we're all ears. The second question from
a bunch of us were at the Wolfhaven Parliament session this morning, So, yeah, like at least we were just like, we're just gonna go and see how that is.
Yeah,
So.
we were welcome there. So yeah, the second let me just go over the second question here. The second question from Shadow Border is: how will we, as MRT members, security agreement, and would there be an opt-out option to it? So yeah, that is an open question. Specifically, there's actually two separate issues here. One is regarding the GDPR, which does require an opt-in, and that is a separate issue from the security agreement, where it's about just general privacy and how your data is being used. Wolfhaven was discussing this in the Parliament session. How this is going to be achieved, we're not sure. Probably myself and other staff will start looking at some solutions in the next month or so. With regards to the security agreement, I don't think in this, but specifically about the data, like the information that you've been banned or that sort of thing. I don't think I honestly, I'm not sure if I can answer that question right now. I have to actually think about it and how that will fit within this whole framework.
Also, I mean, bans and stuff that only would be provided on explicit request. It's not like we would be announcing to them every single time there was a ban.
Yeah, but the whole the option of opting out. The thing is, if you opt out of the security agreement, technically that would also opt you out from the whole server, because we would I don't. I would have to ask them for people to no. No. In order to play on the server, you have to agree to our terms, and the terms would be including that your information about whether you've been banned or warned or any other infractions that may be shared. And if you don't like it, then you will not be able to play. Yeah. Unfortunately, we have to be harsh about this, but we don't expect this to be an issue for people, or almost all people. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
I don't
again.
know if that answers Shadowboard's question. He's not online on Discord. Well, we'll see. Okay, so that's the Otto. Did you want to say any comment there or something, or?
I'll ask that as a separate question later.
Okay. So my queue of questions is empty right now. So if you want to ask a question, please let me know in game, in Twitch chat, or in Discord voice channel. And okay, Kitty has a less than serious question. So I'll put one last final call for any serious questions before we get on to the stupid stuff and the brain rotting silliness that's about to ensue.
Are we setting a 20-minute time limit on this, or how are we going to do this?
Well, we got this, and then we got 20 questions, and then we need to open the Southern line. So.
And then from us to write it.
I will.
Well, do you want to open it now and write it while you? Oh no, because you need to.
No, because I got to put 20 questions.
20 questions.
How about we do this? Let's leave the silly questions until I start writing the Southern line. That's probably good. At least give me something to do while.
I want to ask my question before you do that.
Okay, but once again, this is a final call for any serious questions and concerns, or whatever you want to say.
Don't ask about the build, though, Kitty.
Not directly. I'm not going to spoil it.
No, don't even give any hints. Don't give a hint for anybody.
He'll never be able to guess.
No, still
No.
No hints.
He has to guess on his own.
Again, final call. Going once. Going twice. Okay, so we're going to play...
Sold to nothing.
We're gonna play 20 questions then. So 20 questions first, and then we'll open the southern line, and then silly questions galore, while I become increasingly stupider and stupider. Answer your questions.
Oh yes.
All right. Cool. I'm keeping score of the number of questions remaining. So whenever you're ready,
Okay.
20.
All right. No hints, huh? Is it an event of some sort?
No.
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 Not an event.
Yeah, no.
Is
19.
it a person of some sort?
Yes.
A person is involved.
Yes.
Oh yes.
18.
Is the person doing something illegal?
No.
No.
Probably not.
Definitely not.
This is definitely not
You
illegal.
don't know how
Actually,
many
maybe in some
More of the North Korean jurisdiction.
Anyway, continue.
Is the person famous?
Depends on what context.
Define famous.
As in a celebrity or someone?
No.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
That's relative.
Okay. Is it related to the MRT server?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, that actually narrows it down a bit. So it is a person doing something. Someone is typing Vulpicula. Please turn your push to talk on. Thank you.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, I thought I had it on.
Okay, so it's a person doing something and is related to the MRT server.
Yep, and you got 15 left.
It's someone not famous.
I'd be very concerned if there was a celebrity on the MRT server.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I could be
Seth Black.
William Shatner with a voice changer.
Didn't Tina Fey build a counselor town?
Build cities.
I'm
I
actually
think
keen
Kenyon contributed to Glow Light Town.
Is the person doing some... Are they building something?
No.
No.
14.
Yes, and
No, that's a no.
No, they're not building.
That's a no.
That's very obviously a no.
Oh, by the way, Papa, I just will say, this was God's idea, by the way.
Is that a hint?
No, it's not.
I thought you said no hints here.
That sounds like a hint.
No, I'll say it's not a
It's
hint.
nothing. It is not a hint.
Mm-hmm.
it's nothing.
I mean, nothing's behind you, so.
Other than the fact it's probably oddly cringy.
Guys, I thought we said no hints.
No hints.
God damn it.
God
Alright.
damn it.
What's the question today?
Is not doing something illegal, not building. Cringy. Huh? Cringy.
That's not part of it.
Yeah, that's not a hint at all.
Is the person... This is very strange. Is the person happy?
No.
The answer is no.
The person itself is
No.
I mean,
No,
it's
the
not-
answer
it's not really
He's
dead
not.
looking
The
I'm
answer
getting
is
so many
no.
different answers here.
The answer is
No.
no.
Yes, and
Chat
Not
exploded.
I mean, it looks.
Okay, the answer is no. No hits.
Yes.
No hits. The answer is
No
no.
hits.
Okay.
The answer is no.
13.
Not doing anything illegal.
That's kind of a dead looking.
Does it have anything to do with transportation?
No.
No.
yes, and
Kind of.
No, it doesn't.
No.
No.
I mean,
It's not.
No.
does.
The answer is no.
Oops. Does it have anything to do with food?
No.
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 yes,
Depends what you define as food.
The answer is no.
Go very well.
Even with a very liberal definition of food, it's not food.
I mean, some people
I mean, everything's food. Just,
Anyway, continue.
Continue.
12 more to
just
go.
whether you
So he's doing
put it in your
okay. What? I'm so confused. Is it? I think I might fail this one because this one's a weird.
You can
one.
do it. You
You're
can do
never
it.
gonna guess this.
You still have 12.
As long as you believe in.
But at least know it's something to do with the server. So.
We can go to negative questions here.
No, come on, you can do it.
Is the person a
Sport.
member of the MRT?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you're getting it there.
None.
You've only
Yeah,
eliminated
they
one
are.
rank.
Okay. Let's do the follow-up question. Is the person a staff member on the MRT?
Yes.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, he is.
I mean, maybe.
Yes. The person
Is
is a
it-
staff member. 10.
Is it me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I was
Are
wasted
you
3
staff?
questions. I should have just said, "Is it me?" And okay, all right.
9 more to go.
9.
Oh, we're getting somewhere.
Not transportation related. It's not food related. What am I doing?
You probably open up so far.
You're never gonna guess it.
Yeah,
Am I doing
not
something
anything
disgusting?
illegal.
No.
Am I-
No.
No. Okay.
If you can define it as disgusting.
Am I doing something physical? Like very physical?
No.
Yes.
No.
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 What?
That does not count
The
as
answer
physical.
is no.
You guys say no. Some of you say I don't know.
The answer is no.
What is
He himself isn't doing something with this.
Nothing
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
physical.
The answer is
There's
no.
nothing physical about that.
He's not got chest muscles or anything.
Anyway.
What?
Mm.
No.
We should do that next time. Crumple, but really.
7.
fast.
No hints. No hints.
Please.
I don't. What?
Just ignore.
What the fuck am I doing? I don't understand. I have to ask very specific actions of what I'm doing, and that's gonna.
It's kind of abstract.
No hints, please.
No, sorry, that wasn't meant to be a hint.
You can do it, Crumple.
Hey,
Am I actually alive?
Yes, you are alive.
Yes.
6.
Okay.
You're not dead.
Just gonna take that a possibility out of
Not
the
yet.
picture.
Not yet.
Yeah, I think I don't know. This is is there am I sleeping?
No.
No.
No. Okay.
5.
It's not like your skin has eyelids, so we couldn't really tell.
No hints!
How was that a hint?
No, nothing.
Very spicy.
Just say nothing.
Nothing.
I'm not doing something disgusting. I don't understand.
And it's not, and you're not doing anything physical.
You're also not happy.
I'm not happy.
Emotionless.
Well, that's kind of true anyway, but you know.
Well, that's dark.
What?
I don't know either.
Am I doing something productive?
No.
Nope.
No, productive is a GSM.
Almost
I mean, nothing's really getting done.
So so that kind of implies that I might be doing something.
You're sad.
You're sad. You said you were sad.
Well, that's kind of a hint. You kind of gave me a freebie there.
I thought we said no hints.
No, but
you know,
he asked earlier. Is the person sad?
No,
He said
specifically,
yes.
I said, "Am I happy?" I didn't know whether I
answer
was
was no.
sad.
Okay,
or
well,
mad.
it's sad.
It's sad.
You can have that one for free. God damn it.
Oh, yes.
Not like he's gonna guess it anyway.
I have a bet with gods, so.
We are talking server money, right, Chief?
You are
Am I
completely
sad
wrong.
because? Am I sad because I dropped something?
No.
Reason indeterminate.
Maybe.
Doesn't seem like he's dropping something.
Am I sad because I have to run this goddamn server?
Reason
I mean, probably, but that's not.
It's probably
As
related.
reason
Maybe.
indeterminate.
There's no definite answer.
I mean, the thing is, like, probably, but that doesn't really have to do with this. I mean, I hope not.
It's probably
Like
related.
setting
Yeah.
gasoline on fire in a burning building. It's certainly not stopping it.
Hang on.
Am I banning someone?
No.
No.
One more question, then I guess.
No, it'd make me unhappy to have to do it. So
One more question,
I
then you
can
have a
find
guess.
a way to change that. Give me a few minutes, and I'll make you very happy with that.
please no, don't do
Please
that.
don't.
I have one left.
Yes.
One question and a guess.
I am really puzzled on what this is. Sad.
Can I have your kidney if you fail?
The thing is, it's not related to food. So I mean, the obvious one would be something taco related. But
Well, you have one more question, and
I
then
would
you
like
have.
to move that in the event Frumple fails 20 questions, we see how he would do at 40 questions.
No.
Oh yeah,
You
40
have
questions
one
aside.
more question, and then you have a guess.
Gods and I have a bet running, so.
Yeah, you're boned. Oh, God is boned.
is this something? I don't want to ask that one.
Ask
You
it,
should
go
ask
ahead.
it. You have one question left.
Ask
though.
it.
Just the Hail Mary.
Okay. Am I sad because this thing is meta and because I'm playing 20 questions?
It's
And
Related.
reason indeterminate.
I mean, okay. What is your question exactly?
Basically,
He's basically asking why he's sad. Reason indeterminate.
No, basically what I'm asking is what is depicted me playing 20 questions because it
No.
might be in itself.
You're not
No.
playing
No,
20
gotta
questions.
No, and you have one. Okay, you got a guess now. What's your final guess, Runkle?
You didn't really answer my question, but
Oh, well, the answer is no. You are not playing 20 questions in the background.
I mean, it is kind of meta. That's not the question, wasn't it?
No.
Well, it could be, but
It's
most likely
related,
not.
but that's not the answer.
It's me attending the GSM. That's my guess. I don't know.
Turn around.
That was very close. But,
Okay, Gods, you owe me 10
Just
bucks.
cheer from. Turn around.
What?
Yeah, that
You
should
said
be
it during the
appropriate.
GSM.
Yeah,
You said it. You said it at the GSM.
You said it at the GSM.
At this very GSM.
At one GSM, you should build my emotional baggage.
Yeah, that is
All
meta,
right.
isn't it?
Actual, literal, emotional baggage.
Wait, Yoshi, can I break
We've
the
got to
ice?
open the line now.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I was going to ask Frumple on what the weirdest experience he's ever had at PSA was.
Oh, make it extra detailed.
Before we do that,
Wow.
Gods, you owe me 10 bucks, and then let's open this line.
May I
Thank
TP
you.
to
Sound like you
someone?
said the slime instead of the slime.
This line, yeah.
Well, I like how you built my avatar. Pretty cool. That.
I thought we said no player statues.
Don't worry about it.
Remember, you got to go open the line.
Okay, I'm going. Gee.
Yeah, Frumple, you should really invest
You're
in
moving
more
so I can piss off everybody.
travel.
May I TP to someone?
Okay. I declare this southern line, the first portion of the southern
Close.
line, open. Open.
Sorry, Phil
Yay.
Pickler. It's within 500 blocks of Narnia's town. You got to speak to him before you claim it.
And I'm going to drive the line now.
Narnia, where are you? Wait,
And I
Narnia's
expect
here.
people to start bumping into me pretty soon. Anyway,
Yeah, we
now
can go in now.
it's now time for the silly questions. We're doing it a little differently today, so yeah, please
nobody
ask.
should have any plans for the station. Whoops.
And that's it for our coverage of the GSM. For more information, follow @MRT_News channel on Twitter. We will be airing the MRT News Report later today at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's in a little under 2 hours. This has been an MRT News Channel alert, Fox News Special Report. Good night.